Hi everyone. So picking up where we left off, we most recently did Intel, which I feel is a good time to buy right now. Uh, Next, we're going to be looking at Walmart. I haven't touched Walmart yet. Haven't really done many of these value type stocks, so let's take a look at Walmart and get them set up and see what's a good time to buy, sell, and whatnot. So uh, this is the 3-year trend for Walmart. And all we're doing right now is adding in a couple lines. So this first one we're going to put down at the very bottom what's like the all-time low, which is right around 100, and then this all-time high we're going to put around 156. It has gone a little bit above and beyond, and if you can make it out on your screen, there's like uh, each one of these candles, it's I'm not sure what determines that. It must have been like an hour or two where it shot above 156 or below 100, but in terms of like the majority of shares that occurred during that day or that week, uh, you know it wasn't above that. So that's kind of where that comes from. uh, and then if we want to add in another line, this will be our buy point, so we're going to make that green. A buy point for this one, I would say if you can get this one back down to about 116, I think that's a good spot to buy. Uh, Not too much to go off of outside of this, what I would say the new low, because like most companies that we've looked at, what they kind of do is, and this is kind of hard to explain, but normally what they've done is they've had this drop down in here, and then they'll come right back up. So let's see if it'll let me. Um, yeah, which I'll have to get more familiar. What's this polyline do? And that, nah, that's not kind of what I want. Oh, it is what I want. Okay, so let's remove this, and I think we can do this if we add this polyline. So what they normally do, or what we've seen more frequently, is the stock will have this big drop right around uh, March of 2020. Then it comes up really high, like this. Then it might stabilize or kind of bounce around for a little bit, and then it kind of drops down. But what they normally do is drop down here-ish, still above this line, because this would be roughly a straight line here. And then more recently, it's kind of ticking up. And so that's kind of the trend right now with that. But this one, it dropped down here in 2020, and it hasn't gone below that. Or did I describe that right? Uh, I think the drawing really should have been more like this, way up, down, and then it'll actually go below, and then it's coming back up. So it's normally like this, and so this black line is normally up a little higher, more towards here, and so I might actually consider doing that for this one. I think that is what we're going to do. So we're going to drag this up, and even though this isn't the all-time low, it's just, for me, it's a little unbelievable to think that it's going to come back to that level, at least anytime soon. So let's get this little diagram out of here. So we have this new black line. We're going to say it's 116. And so this good time to buy, it looks like there's a little bit of support here a number of times at around 124. And I'm basing that off of once it got above it back here in mid 2020, it didn't want to go below. It tested the line again in about March of 21, and then it broke here in like May of 22, stayed in that like really, really good time to buy range for about a month, maybe two. Then once it broke that line again, it tested it once more, and we haven't seen it go that low again. So I think that's a good time to buy. If we're going to add in another line, a time to sell, this is like a clear mark right around here-ish, I'd say. Uh, it might poke above a little bit, but I think that's a solid line to draw in terms of like a sell point. Pretty close to that sell point. And then our final line we're going to draw in, whoops, I think I clicked the wrong one. Horizontal. And then this line we're going to make blue, which is kind of like our fair value in terms of what's it kind of hitting its head on or maxing out at. Let me delete that little spot. So this seems like a fair range in terms of the low, right about 131, basing that off of this point here. A couple times it tested it, didn't want to break it. And I think I could maybe even draw in like another marker, which I think will do that, just like a sixth line. This is like the ultimate fair value range, right in this figure, give or take $1 to either way. So that would be like the fair value zone. I would say about 131 to 138. A lot of action happens in there. So that would be, not a great time to buy, but not a bad time either, right in that range. We're currently above that line at 142. So I'm just gonna update my spreadsheet here for a second. A buy point would be about 124, sell point 147, and then we'll put in the date. So we're definitely closer to the sell point. I would say probably not going to make a move on this one anytime soon. Um, Definitely not at that because it's if I were to short it, yeah, it might come back down to 131, but it's I don't know. To me, it's just not high enough. If it was at 147, maybe 145, okay, that I think that's a wide enough gap to make something happen here. But yeah, it's just not in a good spot. The first time I would consider buying is about 138. 131 would be a better spot, and then of course 124 would be, I'd be very happy with that. So right now, I'm just gonna hold off on this. By all means, let me know your thoughts. What do you think in terms of going forward into wrapping up 2023, and just what do you think about this stock, and where would you buy it? But I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.